It's that time of the year, Thanksgiving. And around this time, a lot of people tend to get anxious. They're like, oh man, I'm about to ruin all my fitness results. I'm about to gain so much weight back. I'm just going to stop, you know. And if you're feeling like that and you're like, man, I don't want to lose these results, I don't want to ruin all the results that I've accomplished. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what steps you need to take to excel. Yeah, dare I say, excel during the holidays, Thanksgiving, and even Christmas, the month of Christmas, December as well. Okay. I'll probably make a whole nother video on December. But anyway, these are secrets that I teach my coaching clients that I also do myself. I've been doing this now over 16 years, coaching folks with their lifestyle and losing weight and getting rid of belly fat. And so there are some proven tactics that you can start using to be able to, you know, live life, navigate through the holidays, and when you're traveling and find yourself feeling happy and proud about the way your body looking, not feeling disappointed and shame because you've gained weight. And so the last one, number four, crucial. Very, very important to stick around for number four. Okay, I got four tips for you. Number one is this: you have to make certain things non-negotiables. Okay, here's what I mean. One of my coaching clients named Ann, shouts out to Ann Hollins. She's down 110 pounds. And before she got down to 110 pounds down, she dropped about 80. And around that time she dropped 80, she started traveling a little bit more. And she also, when she said, whenever I get around this 200, 210 range, I always get stuck. And I told her, listen, you've dropped 80 pounds. For you to be able to drop this much weight, you're doing some things right. And so I said, stick with what you know works. These are what I call non-negotiables. Now, obviously, you guys know that she's now down 110 pounds, but it's I wouldn't even believe it unless I helped her do it. But I helped her, and so I know she dropped that much weight. You can go on Instagram or you what do you call it, Facebook, and you can see her transformation. Uh, and so with that said, now I don't have a hat with number six on there. But with that said, I said there's certain things you've been doing up to this point to drop 80 pounds. This is how you've been able to do it. Maybe you've been sleeping a certain amount of hours a night. You've been drinking a certain amount of water on a daily basis. You've been exercising and hitting the gym a certain amount of times a week. Okay. What's going on? Is that Naomi Perez? What's going on? Hope you're doing well. I'm glad I inspire you. Um, and so I listed off all these different things. And so there's certain things that you're doing. Okay. If you've been seeing progress, there's certain things that you're doing on a daily and weekly basis that's allowing for you to accomplish those results. Now, if you're not seeing results and you're stuck or the weight already going in the wrong direction, I want to give you a quick checklist. Okay. And what I mean by checklist, these are the checklist of the non-negotiables. Okay. Like a non-negotiable is like you got your boo, you may be married. I don't know. Before y'all depart, you getting ready to go to work, they getting ready to go to work. It's a non-negotiable. You give them a kiss, maybe a hug. You may tell them you love them. It's non-negotiable. You see these things all on Facebook and TikTok. People will be doing skits with their partner, and they partner will say, "I love you." They walk out. They getting ready to walk out, but their partner didn't say it back. They didn't say it back to their partner. They like, "Oh, you didn't say it back." They shocked because they like, "That's a non-negotiable. You supposed to say it back, right?" You have to treat it the same way with your health and your lifestyle. Okay, you have to say to yourself, "Self, what do I do on a daily basis that is going to allow for me to lose weight? That's going to allow for me to have energy. That's going to allow for me to." She's not the one for you. Right, exactly. Don't say, right, y'all down there having the whole conversation. But anyway, appreciate that. I take care of these teeth, man. These $5,000 plus teeth right here. Had to get the Invisalign. But anyway, let me get back on topic. It's a story for another day. That's one of my non-negotiables. Take care of my teeth because if I'm gonna be doing lives and podcasts and posting content, I gotta have nice, pretty teeth, you know. And so, non-negotiables. How many hours of sleep are you getting? 6 to 8 hours of sleep is what you should be getting on a daily and weekly basis, especially during the holidays. Because during the holidays, it can be stressful, y'all. You may be traveling. You may have family coming in. You got to find out what a venue go be, what food you're gonna be getting. All these things, right? It can be stressful. We can manage our stress by getting enough rest. Okay? Manage your stress by getting enough rest. I can't tell you guys the amount of days where I'm like, sometimes my stress is at a 5, sometimes it's at a freaking 11. And when I go to sleep and I get a full nights of sleep where I get about 8 hours, the next day I feel refreshed. I feel like a whole new person. I know some of y'all may go through the same thing. And so super, super important. Um, Next thing, some of these folks say some of the craziest things on these on YouTube live. Man, some of y'all are wild. But anyway, sleep, hydration. If you're dehydrated, guys, you're gonna find yourself feeling tired, feeling more stressed. You're gonna find yourself wanting to binge eat and eat more sugar, eat more starchy foods because you are dehydrated. So you gotta drink enough water. Make it a non-negotiable to still hit the gym. Doesn't have to be every day. 3, 4, 5 days a week, somewhere in there. 3 to 4 is the sweet spot. If you're going any more than that, that's, dare I say, icing on the cake. All right, icing on the cake. And so you got to make things non-negotiables. This is what gives you the floor. A lot of people are shooting for the ceiling, they miss it. What you want to do, your non-negotiables set the floor. This is what most people don't realize about folks who are already successful at weight loss. We're not being perfect. We're not like, well, there are some bodybuilders, but most people are not living their life like a bodybuilder. I'm not eating chicken and broccoli every day like a bodybuilder, but I have a floor of non negotiables that is only going to allow for me to get to gain but so much weight. Like, if I keep my same non negotiables, I'll be able to keep my abs. I'll be able to keep them. And so it's important that you make sure that you I see some of y'all comments throwing me off a little bit. But anyway, um you have to make sure that your non-negotiables is kind of like your lifeline, you know? Like I remember I used to play video games and it's like if you don't do certain things, you don't have no lifeline. And so it's game over. It's not necessarily game over for you if you gain weight, but it can feel frustrating. And so all I'm saying is if you look in the mirror and you're like, I definitely don't want to get any bigger than this. Or you step on a scale, you're like, I definitely don't want the weight to go any heavier than this number right here. For some women, it might be 80, 180 pounds, 200 pounds. Some guys, they might be like, man, I can't get no bigger than about 250. Man, it's just out of control, right? How do you get yourself to never go past that point? These non-negotiables. It sets the floor. Okay. I feel like I covered like 9 minutes just on non-negotiables. So we're gonna move on. You get it. You get the point. Next thing, number 2, the 5 P's. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Okay. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Appreciate it. I'm glad you subbed. Welcome. And so this is one of those things where there's one of my coaching clients. She recently graduated not long ago, named Goldie, and she had dropped 30 pounds. She dropped 30 pounds, and this is a busy mom. If I'm not mistaken, they either have 2 children or 3 children. Her and her husband Lance joined the coaching program, and Lance dropped like 40 pounds in 3 months. She dropped 30, and me and her, we did a interview, and you can actually find it on my YouTube channel if you go to like the client results section. And what happened was I asked her, I said, "You're so busy. You still have a busy and demanding career. You've been a wife. You have children, you know, kids in high school, one of them in college, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of kids, a lot of family, a lot of responsibilities, right? And I said, what kept you on track? Like, how did you stay on track to be able to lose this much weight? Because most people, what they say, I'm too busy. I'm too busy. She said, I made sure I stayed prepared. Coach, my preparation is what allowed me to get these type of results. And so I say this to you, going into this holiday weekend. Well, I think Thanksgiving this Thursday, right? Prepare. What I mean by preparing, let me give you an example of what preparation looks like. What some people, I'll just say what I used to do. I used to wait for Thanksgiving to happen, and then I'd go to my mom's place or my grandma's place, whoever was cooking Thanksgiving, and I'd be starving, waiting for the food by the time I got there. I'm like, oh my God, my head is about to explode. And so I wasn't prepared. But nowadays, I prepare by making sure I eat something before I go to whoever house I'm going to. Because I don't want to feel like I'm starving when I get there. If I feel like I'm starving, dude, I am going to overeat on everything. I'm going to bend, I'm going to inhale food. That's why so many people gain so much weight. And some people even have like health issues, health concerns start to arise because of how much food they eat during the holidays. But if you make sure you are hydrated leading up to Thanksgiving, that Thanksgiving meal. Make sure you ate maybe a protein meal and some type of fibrous fruits or vegetables before you go eat your Thanksgiving meal. That way you're not like starving. Because when you're starving, you ain't thinking. Your stomach doing the thinking. Your stomach is like, as soon as they say we can eat, we eating everything. Any and everything. And so it's very important that you prepare ahead of time. Even when it comes to the weekend after Thanksgiving, don't don't pile up on a whole bunch of Thanksgiving leftovers. Make sure you have food at the house. Get one or two plates. That's it. One or two leftover plates. That's all you need. And so that way that the next day you have one more leftover plate. And then, going into Saturday, you back in the rhythm and routine. You have food at the house. You're not eating all that Thanksgiving food still. Okay? You want to make sure you have real food at the house. Food dense with nutrients, proteins, healthy fats, fibers, fruits, and vegetables. Okay? Uh bro, you think one day really matter? Man, a lot of people do. A lot of people do. Obviously, is one day really not gonna do much of a make a big impact. Well, I take that back because we are creatures of habit. And for some people, some people have a habit of, it's kind of like almost like a sugar addiction or food addiction, where once they start eating a certain type of food, they have like this uncontrollable thirst to want to eat more of it. And it's just a real thing. There's people who are food addicts, sugar addicts. Okay, and so almost like alcoholics. Alcoholics can't say, "Oh yeah, I just drink every now and then," because if they try to do that, they go relapse. And so some people are the same way with food, but they just don't know it. They don't know why they keep going back to the food, and they're trying to dabble. All right. And so what I'm trying to do is help you not just from a tactical standpoint of certain things you can do, but from a mindset and awareness standpoint also, because both are important. Hey man, I managed to increase the amount of pizza rolls I eat. I'm buying a cheaper alternatives, pizza. Okay. So number three is a refeed day. As before I really got into this really sunk my teeth into this fitness industry the way I am now. I found myself questioning the fitness industry. I was like, how in the world are some of these trainers having their clients losing so much weight, getting rid of belly fat, but they're still eating foods they enjoy? I remember seeing some of these trainers, their clients would be eating like pizza, and burgers, and French fries and ice cream. I'm like, how? How is that possible? I was like confused. And so, y'all can see all these books behind me. I started reading a ton of books, okay, on fitness, nutrition, all that kind of stuff. I started reading a lot of articles and forums, and I discovered what they call carb cycling. And just if I want to just make it super simple, carbs is it doesn't make you fat. Okay, a lot of people just overeat on carbs. That's what makes them fat. Okay, if you eat too much of it, that means you're in a surplus of calories. You're in a surplus of calories, you're not going to lose weight. And so with carb cycling, what it does is certain days out the week you're going to eat more calories, meaning you're just going to eat more starchy carbs on those days. Other days where you are eating less calories, that means you're eating less starchy carbs. Okay, and so here's what this means going into this week. Well, it's Tuesday right now, but just finishing up this week, you can use Thanksgiving as a high carb day or high calorie day. Use these interchangeably. They both mean the same thing. Okay. And so, um, well, not technically, but it's going to be high calorie because you're eating more carbs. I'll say it that way. And so, with that said, the other days leading up to Thanksgiving, make it low carb. That let's say 1 or 2 days after, make it low carb. And so that way, you're kind of like saving your calories for Thanksgiving, and you're preparing yourself. Like for example, let's say for example on a daily basis you're eating 1,600 calories on a daily basis, eating a lot of proteins, healthy fats, fruits and vegetables, and then on Thanksgiving probably not gonna have as much protein, but you go have a whole lot of carbs. You got your mac and cheese, you got your dressing, you had your beans, your black eyed peas. Those are carbs. And so it's going to be a carb heavy day. And so instead of only eating 1,500 calories, you probably be eating closer to 2,000 or 2,500. Okay, if not more. Some of you guys, if you're not tracking it. And so that's the third tip. The fourth tip I want to give you, because I did a group coaching call with my clients, and that's something that we do inside my coaching program. And one of our members had asked me, so how do you stay on track after eating these big meals from Thanksgiving? And I said, walk. As soon as you get done eating, go for a 10, 15, 20-minute walk. It sounds so simple. Most people will not do it. Most people, they will eat that big meal, lay on the couch, and want to go to sleep or have the itis. But instead, and I want to talk about the reason why that happens though, because eating a lot of carb heavy meals, it spikes your blood sugar. So if you're type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic, I know a lot of y'all be following me, guys, you got to be very aware. Like you can't eat a lot of starchy carbs like that because your blood sugar is going to spike significantly. All right. And so you have to be mindful. But how do I want to say this? What you want to do is this. When you walk after eating a Thanksgiving meal or two, it's going to help you regulate your blood sugar a lot faster. Because by eating the meals, your blood sugar is going to spike. Your pancreas is going to pump insulin into your body, all right? Insulin to your bloodstream to store that glucose somewhere in your muscles and your liver, wherever, right? However, most people eat so much starchy carbs on Thanksgiving and the days after, they're saturated with glucose. Okay. This is how people end up being pre and type 2 diabetic. Okay. And so you can walk after each meal. It will help you regulate your blood sugar. It'll help you bring your blood glucose levels back down. It doesn't have to be a walk where you're sweating and you drenched in sweat. No, be a slow pace. You just need to get moving. You just need to get moving. It's going to help you regulate your blood sugar and you'll find yourself not even having brain fog. These are like life hacks. Like not just for Thanksgiving, but like in general. This is why I talk about lifestyle. Because when you fix your lifestyle, you lose weight by default, guys. You have more energy by default. You feel better by default. Your stomach get flat by default. Most people who are having belly fat issues, stressing about their weight, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, sleep apnea. It's because of the lifestyle that they've had leading up to that point. It doesn't mean they're bad people. It doesn't mean that it's their genetics or it's their age. No, it's none of those things. It's just your lifestyle. But when you change your lifestyle, meaning the habits that you have on a daily and weekly basis, yeah, this is how you look good, feel good year round. All right. And especially during the holidays. Right. Just gotta be intentional. Other than that, guys, I'm getting ready to head out. Let me look at a couple of y'all comments. I think a couple people said something. What about Cyber Monday? Uh, Same thing. Same thing. Cyber Monday. You're right. Walking really does lower blood sugar. 100%. It does. Mm, Maybe you can take a break. All right, guys, I'm getting ready to head out. Other than that, if you want help from me, if you want my guidance, you want me to basically lay everything out step by step for you. That way I can remove the guesswork. That way you're not wasting time with trial and error. I'll drop a link down in the description below. That way y'all can learn more about coaching with me. Okay? Other than that, we out of here.